There's a lot of secrets and odd things hidden throughout Termina. This video will cover 5, and I'll do a deal with everybody watching. If there's any of these secrets that you didn't know, then let me know down in the comments which one. If you did know them all, then I'll make another secrets video. Deal? Good. Let's get into it. Did you know that just in the entrance to Old Town at the start of the game, you can enter a building to find a public toilet? If you interact with it, you have the option to jump down and you can't get back out. You're trapped there. You're forced to wait until your character's sanity drops low enough and then you can, well, end the game personally. Oh, you did know that? Well, how about this one? One of the strongest weapons in the game is the Meatgrinder. It hits 3 times in a single attack and has a high chance to inflict bleed. If you have weapon crafting from Abella's skill tree, and if you find the bench grinder item and a couple of other pieces, you can craft this amazing weapon. But did you know you can craft 3 of them? The most important ingredient is the bench grinder itself. The first one you can find is in Stitch's bunker in the deepest woods. After you get past Stitches herself and take the elevator down, you'll find it behind the locked door. The second, you get when you beat the mob. The Meatgrinder enemy in the mob wields the full weapon against you in the fight, which is a pretty tough one. But if you manage to beat them and search his body, unfortunately the full weapon it was carrying breaks, but it leaves behind a bench grinder to craft with. The third and final bench grinder is held by Abella herself. If you use the steal ability while fighting her as an NPC, you can get the very last one. Although, if you play as Abella, this third one is unavailable. Either way, I don't think there's many enemies in the game that can withstand a party of 2 Meatgrinders, let alone all 3. You can get all 3 of these quite early on if you use the Deeper Woods shortcut. This shortcut is accessible at the start of the game. You can find a shack with 2 corpses and an old god circle. Tanaka comments here how horrifying it is, and the true nature of the festival starts becoming obvious to the contestants. If you're lucky enough to have a Venushka skin Bible and some chalk, you can use the circle here to reach the deeper woods early, and you don't need to get the 2 keys to open the main gate. You can use this shortcut to enter Stitch's bunker and recruit or kill Osar, and pick up a bench grinder while you're down there if you want to craft a meat grinder. The enemies in the area are very tough, so it can be tricky to do so early. But that's not the real secret shortcut here. Did you know that if you have the skill Undergrowth Awareness from Olivia's skill tree, there's another shortcut in this area? On the far right side of the southern part of the deep woods, there's one part where you can push through the undergrowth and come out right next to the first bunker, where you find Abella. Unfortunately, you can't go back the other way, so it's not particularly useful and can't be used to access the city early. There's not many places you can use skills like this to perform special actions outside of combat, so here's hoping that more get added later. Where there is a lot of in-game, is a lot of unique scenes between characters. Some of the triggers are quite complex, requiring playing as a specific character at a specific time and performing specific actions. Many of the secret ones appear on the morning of day 1, since it's hardest to explore the full game at this time. Pav has a few of these scenes early on. Usually when you reach the tower later, you find Pav dead on the ground from a deep cut in his chest. If you arrive in the morning of day 1, or at certain other times, you can see what caused the deadly wound. Pav accosts the Kaiser himself. And unfortunately for him, Kaiser is a power level or 2 higher, and the result is, well, as expected. If you have a bandage when you see this scene, you can patch Pav up and escort him safely to the train where he'll rest for the remainder of the festival. Or, you can kill him easily here to get his soul. Your choice. However, if you're playing as Karen, there's another interesting interaction with Pav on day 1. As you enter or leave Sylvian Square on the eastern side, Pav will appear and Karen, hating the Bremen army, will start an argument, and you can fight him here. If you defeat him and examine his body, you'll see he has a slash mark from Kaiser on his chest. Which is interesting, because when you see it happen, it definitely looks very fatal. It prompts the question, did he just stumble away, barely clinging onto life? Or did somebody save him? And if not you, then who? There is one likely candidate for who saved him. The player gets saved by August multiple times when they're in trouble, who's also hunting down the Kaiser. If the player loses a fight against the Dark Priest inside the Mayor's Manor, they get crucified in the square just outside. August finds you and helps you down, although you're left without legs. Another time, when you're fighting Moonless beneath the sewers, August steps in at the end to help you once again. We also see him hunting the Kaiser and other places. Could he have stumbled on the dying Pav and patched him up while hunting his target? It's not the only mystery involving August. He has a lot of interesting things about him. There's many little scenes of him leaping over fences or running over rooftops that appear only at certain times. He's got so many little interactions that he'll honestly require his own video. But one special thing to note today is the loot that you get when you kill him. He drops his unique clothing, which is very good. It has high defense and boost crit rate. But also, he drops the unique item, the silver shillings. These coins are a special currency found only on August, said to be used by the upper class of Pre-Heval, so it's certainly interesting that August has them. He's obviously a refined gentleman, but this suggests he has connections to the town specifically. Currently, they're just flavor items. There's no known use for them in the game, but maybe that'll change in the future. So, how did you do? How many of the secrets did you already know? Let me know down in the comments if you learned anything. Or if you already did know them all, then definitely tell me, because then I'll have to do another video. There's no shortage of secrets in Termina. Some of them get pretty wild, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of them.